I used to try to fit in with the cool crowd, pretending to be something I am not. Looking back at it, I'm pretty disappointed in myself for doing that, but I understand it's a part of life and it's a learning curve. But here's why fitting in is stupid. Firstly, you end up doing stuff and being someone that you are not. You lose your identity trying to fit in and gain approval from people that you don't truly care about. Now, this is definitely something that a lot of younger people are likely to struggle with, as usually the older people get, the less they care about the opinions of others. Now, don't get it twisted. There are still a lot of older people that still fall victim to trying to fit in. It's called keeping up with the Joneses, a concept that basically is trying to keep up with your peers' material possessions by purchasing things that you don't really care about. So this video is meant to help anyone that suffers from this. And like I said, I used to suffer from this myself. So there's no shame in admitting it. But once you make that realization that is counterproductive, then it's really up to you whether or not you want to continue. And hopefully you guys can understand by the end of this video why it's stupid and that it's far more effective to just be yourself. I think the education system has a lot to do with people trying to fit in. It's not really what you're learning at school, but it's more so the social system that is in place. While it's cool to make friends in school, it quickly becomes a hierarchy system where the popular kids reign at the top. Then you have a mid-tier with the average Joes, and then the bottom tier with the weird kids, and kids that just lack social intelligence. Now, I was a pretty nerdy kid growing up in elementary school. I got good grades and never got in trouble. I didn't have many problems with people either until I got to 6th grade. That's when I got bullied by this one kid, and he turned everyone in the class against me. Now, I don't really know what happened exactly, but I do remember one day everyone just started to ignore me. And it got so bad that I actually considered switching schools the following year, but thankfully I didn't. I hit a bit of a growth spurt in that summer, and I came back the next year a new kid, and most people just put whatever happened in the past and they started socializing with me again. But this was really the start of when I became more conscious of trying to fit in with the cool crowd. I think it's because I got bullied, so subconsciously I was trying to avoid being bullied again. So what did I do to avoid that? I tried my best to fit in. Fast forward to high school, and I can't lie, I was successful in fitting in and was a pretty popular kid. Enough to be the prom king in the 12th grade. Now, looking back, being prom king was pretty stupid and unnecessary, but it happened. I specifically remember during high school, I would kick it with the degenerate crowd. This is the crowd that is indulging in alcohol and drugs and just being overall mischievous. I still ended up with good grades, but I was also cool with the nerdy kids because deep down, I was still a nerd at heart. I got to experience the best of both worlds, and because of that, I came to the realization that fitting in is stupid. I spent all this time and energy trying to fit in only to become a shell of myself. Of course, there are some benefits because I tried things that were out of my comfort zone and that forced me to grow as a person, but overall, trying to be something you are not is a waste of time. You end up spending a lot of time just doing things that you wouldn't really do otherwise. Think about it like this. If you were the only person in the world, would you still be doing that thing? Now, that's a bit of a stretch analogy, but I'm sure you guys get the idea. Fast forward to life now. I'm 27 years old and I no longer care about what people think. And let me tell you that it's a liberating feeling not to care. I think most people grow up and realize life is so short and living based on the opinions of others is very much a waste of time. Before you know it, you'll be 50 years old looking back like, damn, why didn't I live the way I wanted to live? The people around you are not paying your bills, they are not taking care of your loved ones, and they are definitely not solving your life problems. So screw what they think and just do you. People around my age now, they're all just competing with material possessions like who has a better car or bigger house. Getting married has become the new flex and way to fit in. More specifically, who can throw the grandest wedding? I'm South Asian, and if you guys know, then you guys know how our culture is when it comes to throwing weddings. People are literally going into debt to throw a grand wedding, invite a bunch of people that don't really mess with them, and then make payments on that debt for years afterwards. Damn, like just saying that out loud sounds so stupid. I'm pretty sure it's only going to get worse. I think with the rise of social media, people have the urge to fit in more than ever. Like a lot of people are traveling in their 20s, I think due to social media and everyone posting their traveling, it's just influencing others to travel more. And now don't get me wrong, traveling is great. And if your situation allows for it, then I definitely recommend it. But I just know a bunch of people are going into debt to travel to literally just post on their Instagram story that they're traveling. Like, think about that. People are putting themselves in debt to flex to people that they don't even care about just to feel superior or like they're a part of the cool crowd. This is way more prevalent with women too. Have you guys ever seen a group of girls that secretly hate one another, but they continue to be friends to post to social media to show how much they quote unquote fun they're having? But whenever you see one of these girls by themselves, they just have the most negative thing to say about their group of friends. Like, why are you even hanging out with each other if you don't even like each other? That one just boggles my mind. The amount of fake women I've seen is ridiculous, and it's gotten way worse with the introduction of social media. It happens to groups of guys too, but I would say it's way less common. Guys usually will say what they feel like to each other instead of behind their back. Social media has definitely 100x the concept of trying to fit in, because before you were trying to fit in at school or in certain social groups or even the community, but now you're trying to fit in on a global scale. Even if I think about my parents' generation, especially in the South Asian community, so many people live their lives based on the opinions of others, constantly comparing their own lives and even their children's lives to one another. The most common thing is like being a doctor, engineer, or lawyer. If you're in one of these professions, then your parents have the ultimate bragging rights to other parents and family members. But in most cases, the kids that end up becoming one of these professions, unless they have the desire to want to do them, they end up pretty miserable in life because, again, they just wanted to quote unquote fit in. What is crazy to think is that this generation did not grow up with social media, but still feel the need to try to fit in. It goes to show you how this concept has been embedded into humanity for decades, probably even centuries. Now, people back in the 1800s were probably flexing their horses and wooden houses, but even with the houses, my parents' generation cares so much about who has the bigger house, who the nicer cars, the better vacations, so much to the point that they don't even care if they are truly happy with their lives, just as long as everyone around them sees that they're flexing on everyone else with their own material possessions. It's actually so stupid if you think about it. People will basically go their entire lives without living the way that they truly wanted to live. Now, there's this one guy that I speak to at the gym. He's a few years older than me, and he has a lot of wisdom that I try to soak up. He used to be a quote unquote gangster back in the days. He even tried rapping a bit. He used to be fat as shit, but now he's in great shape, and he's a personal trainer. So it's safe to say that he really turned his life around for the better. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing him up is because he told me once that the one thing that most people regret in their dying days is caring what other people thought of them and not living the life they truly wanted to. Let that one sink in, and if you are suffering from trying to fit in, then here's your chance to change that today moving forward. You have the choice to live your life the way you truly want to.